Welcome back to the Puncher's Chance YouTube channel. This is one I've been waiting for a long while for. Sam, we mentioned you a while back on the podcast and you dropped us a message. I said future world champion. After that performance there, you dispatched the European silver. Is that on the cards now, a future world champion for yourself?
Yeah, I think that's what we're working towards. I think that's the main goal. That's what we've been in it from the beginning. But listen, boys, that weren't a punch-perfect performance. I've still got things I've got to learn and do, like myself, either out with camp with nutrition and diet and things like that. But yeah, I think, listen, a good win, good stoppage, back on the streak. Had a little bit of time off, so it's good to get it going again and then hopefully have another fight back into the year.
And what do you make of your opponent? Obviously, he was maybe a little bit negative. It stopped the crowd getting going a little bit. Was that frustrating in there with him not really going for you? Being the European silver, you'd expect maybe more of a fight?
I think because obviously I tagged him early with some big shots, he might have covered up a little bit. I think he probably caught me with a left hook in the first round, which is probably his best shot. And obviously I think when it didn't budge me, he probably thought he was in for a long old night, you know. But listen, he was tough. I mean, I've got a couple lumps and bumps on my head, so I knew he was in there. But yeah, obviously I had to fight him as my mandatory. So yeah, just looking forward to progressing in my future in my career.
And obviously at lightweight you've got quite a few ways to a world title really. Obviously the titles are split between a number of people, Darius Brinchik, Shakur Stevenson, obviously fighting Joe Cordina, etc. Is it a great division to be a part of at the moment? You know, obviously you got the European and Commonwealth belts that Gavin Gwynne previously had, and then you've got that world level next, and Mark Chamberlain's making moves in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot going on in that division.
Yeah, I think any division at world levels like flavours some image. I mean, you only got to look at anyone, the weight above, welterweight, they're all good. But I think I'm happy to be in a position, and I think I'm happy to be getting talked about with them sort of names, the people that they've heard long about them before they heard about me. So it's good, it's moving in the right direction, and obviously headlining another event on the bounce is good. So it's just going in the way I want it to go, you know. So just happy to just keep chipping away at it all.
And we're not in the most glamorous location at the moment for this interview. It's
proper boxing venue.
You know, are there different venues that you're more excited for? Obviously, the York was a legendary venue. You can't take away from that. But is there venues in your mind? I spoke to Charlie earlier, and he was talking about maybe getting a show down Kent Way. Is that something that excites you? Maybe Maidstone Stadium, if you can get that done.
Yeah, I think we spoke about Maidstone, but I think now with the boys we've got coming out, and then there's a few boys who are turning over. Mason Painter's recently had his debut. I know Jimmy Dean Wood, he's going to end up fighting, turning over soon as well. So we're probably going to have like 10 fights from down that way. So I think the only stadium big enough would be Priestfield, Gillingham. Obviously Maidstone's got my heart, always has, but I just don't think it's going to be big enough in the way the stand's laid out. Do you know what I mean? But even if it was somewhere up this way, but all like the Kent boys, it'd be brilliant to do. I mean, I reckon it'd be a sellout.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned two names already. Obviously, Mark Chamberlain's one that's been poked around quite a lot. Obviously, he's doing his thing over in Saudi Arabia. He's got a few belts around his waist. And another one I mentioned, Gavin Gwynne. I've come all the way from Cardiff, well, I've come from all the way, but Cardiff's where we're based. So Gavin Gwynne's without a fight at the moment. Is that a fight you'd take maybe with Gavin if you could get that one made?
You know what? I wouldn't actually want to fight Gavin. You know, he's a really nice fella. Like we chat online and that. I get on like obviously, if you got it, you've got to, in you. But like, I like Gavin as a person. I think he sounds, you know. So if it happened, it happened. But I wouldn't want it to happen, you know.
From a fan's point of view, though, that would be some fight. That's
yeah.
An unstoppable force versus a man that won't stop coming forward. It would be exciting.
Yeah, no, it would be a good fight. It would be a good fan-friendly fight. But as I said, listen, I'm not going to sit here calling out Gavin. I like Gavin, but if it had to, it had to. And we're both boxers at the end of the day. You say the same thing, but yeah, I think there's plenty of other fights out there that we can have. Do you know what I mean? Without fighting people you enjoy, like you like. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see.
And Turkey Yellow Sheik's favourite, obviously Mark Chamberlain. Is that a fight that you're looking for? Is it just one that maybe you think is inevitable? You're both kind of going in that career trajectory.
I think it's inevitable, to be honest. I think it's been spoke about since we both signed pro. Obviously, both big hitters at lightweight, both under frame one. I think when it happens, it'll be unreal. And I think, listen, if we keep talking about it for another couple of years, then we keep talking about it. I think, but now it makes sense in our career. You know, like 3-4 years ago, when we're all like 8-0, 6-0, whatever, it don't really make sense. But we're sort of getting to that stage now where we are heading in that sort of direction. I mean, realistically, once upon a time we said one get the British, one get the Commonwealth and do it, but why not both get 2 world titles and then meet for a unification? But we'll see, innit?
Does it need a world title for that fight, for it to make sense for you and obviously to make sense as a fight, or will it be probably the best fight in boxing without a world title on the line?
I don't think it needs a world title. Like I'd fight him not for a world title if they wanted to do it as an eliminator or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it would be good for a world title, obviously, because it's a title that I've always wanted to win. But I'd fight him for an eliminator. It wouldn't bother me if there was a belt on the line or not.
Brilliant. Well, we're being chewed on, but I appreciate your time for us today, and I appreciate everything. All the best.
No problem. Thanks for having me, mate.